So now my director has made me come here to talk about my very first boyfriend. I've never had a boyfriend, I promise. This is just for aesthetic purposes. My first crush was this boy in class 8. He used to bully me a lot, but then I later realized he used to like me. Yeah, and then he was like my first boyfriend or something. Yeah, that was my first crush. He was a tall guy and used to play rugby.
That's the way it was. That's the way it was. You was good on the low for a favor. I'm so faded love. Shit, what the fuck you complaining for? Feeling jaded up. Used to trip off that shit I was kicking to your head.
Oh my god. How old was I? I think I was just in class 8, yeah? Class 8. So there was this guy in class who used to bully me. I was such a tiny girl in school, yeah? I was such a small girl, like one of those smart, but do I say I'm a smart one? Those smart, tiny little girls in school, yeah. And then like when you're in class 8, now that teenagehood phase is hitting. So this guy was such a tall guy. Oh my god, he's gonna say this. I hope he doesn't follow me, does he? I don't know. Anyway, so now this guy used to bully me a lot. Used to bully me, but not bully me, but bully me a little. But not bully. It was just like a subtle hit. So I was always like, hey, this guy. So and he used to be properly tall, like seriously tall. So I was like, this guy, why is he always picking on me? So like later I didn't realize that maybe I'm embarrassed to say this. He even liked me. Oh my god, I'm cringing, like I'm sweating remembering this thing, yeah. So now, back then it was when Avatar had popped up. Oh my god, no everyone's gonna know who I'm talking about. Anyway, Avatar had popped up, yeah. And then he always used to tell me, his nickname was Avatar, yeah. And he always used to say that I'm tough. There was this character called Tough. The tough character was a little tough girl. She was also tiny, but very, very tough, yeah? So that's what she used to call me, Tough. So many times he'd get like, back then we used to use DVD players to watch stuff. So he used to get me the CDs and the DVDs to play of Avatar, yeah? So I was like, this guy bullies me, but he still gets me DVDs to watch. I was like, anyway, it's fine. So, long story short, after we finished, primary school, there's usually that period when like you're in between primary school and just before you join high school, yeah. So this time I don't know how, but we started talking with this guy. So this one day I was at home, yeah, and it was one of those days for chama, like it was on a Sunday. It was a day for chama. So like in a typical African home, your mom will call you to come say hi to the guests or listen to like the preaching that's usually there, like when the chama is about to go, yeah. So at that time I had just gotten a phone. You remember those phones for the Nokia ones? I don't know, those Tululus, the press button was, yeah. So I remember getting a call, yeah. And then the main person who was leading that service or something of the sort, that chama, yeah, she saw my phone ringing, yeah, and then like I ignored it. I just like put it on silent, yeah, and then I ignored it, yeah. And then the second time it rang, and then she was just like, it's okay, we can excuse you to pick your phone. So I was just about to stand and go, and then she was like, no, just pick here and hear what the person has to say, and then like you're gonna call them later. So I picked my phone, and then oh my god, actually, this is so embarrassing. Okay. So I picked my phone and then I'm like, hello. Of course, I knew who was calling. It was Avatar. Let's call him Avatar. It was Avatar calling. So I was like, hello. I'm trying to sound cordial, because I know this is this guy who likes me. I just trying to contain it, So I was like, hello. And then this guy on the other side of the phone, he was like, I don't know, hi. I don't know, he just went straight to the point, which I love. And then he was like, hi, I just wanted to tell you that I like you and I think I'm in love with you. You guys, he decided to call in the middle of a chama. Like, let me tell you, the devil is a liar. He decided to call in the middle of a chama. Oh my god, I didn't know how to react. So I was just like, okay, I'll call you later. And then I hung up. The whole time during the chama, this lady who kept on like reading the scriptures and all that stuff, she kept on preaching. And on my side, I was busy smiling. I was just like, the guy likes me. Amateur likes me. So this lady, the whole time, she thought like, the preaching is coming through. Like the word is wording, like the Holy Spirit is down. I was feeling about being told by this guy the way he likes me and all that stuff. So in the evening, I called him, yeah, and I was like, yeah, I heard what you told me, yeah. So I think the other time, like a week later, my best friend back then, she was supposed to have a birthday party, yeah. So I was like, it's okay, we're gonna talk about it in the birthday party, yeah. We're gonna talk about it in the birthday party. So the whole time we were trying to keep it, cordial, because also our friends were like in a similar friend group, and I was the little smart girl, so I didn't want people back then to know like I'm actually being liked by someone and I like them. And I kind of like them back-ish. I don't know. It was so exciting back then, and it was the days when you used to text someone and all that stuff, yeah. So I remember when we met for my best friend's birthday back then, yeah. I remember I loved Hannah Montana at the time, so he knew that. So he took my phone and then like downloaded a wallpaper of Hannah Montana and then put my ringtone as Hannah Montana's theme song. Oh God, I was so in love. I was like, this is the man. This is the one of my dreams, yeah. So during the birthday, we just kept on talking, and now I asked him like to follow me like to the kitchen so that I can like just talk to him back out like away from people about what he had told me about being in love with me. You guys, nilikuwa napendwa. So I remember in the kitchen, and then he was tall and I was kind of short. I was a tiny person, so I kept on looking at him like, he's here, and I was like, yeah, I heard what you told me, and then I was smiling at the time, but then I was just trying to contain it, and then he was like, yeah, so what do you think? And then I remember the whole time threatening him not to tell anyone that I have accepted to be his girlfriend, and if he will tell anyone. My reputation was at stake, yeah? I'm the smart girl. Like, I'm the smart girl in class, in school. Nobody can know I've been messing around. Not messing around, but I've been reading other things apart from books. I'm busy reading texts. So I remember threatening him not to tell anyone. And we spoke for a while in the kitchen, and it was so cute. Oh my God, young love. It was so cute the whole time. And we came out of the kitchen like nothing happened, But then the whole time he was just like, there was just eye contact and there was just eye contact and all that stuff. And I was just like, oh my God, this is what dreams are made of. You guys, the song. I was just like, this is what dreams are made of, yeah. And then we always used to talk. He was so nice. So many times when we'd meet up as that friend group that I kept on telling you about, yeah. We'd really see each other, and then eventually now people got to know like actually he's my person and all that stuff. Anyway, fast forward, a week into, that was December. So now like a week into January, we moved to another place, yeah. So we couldn't see each other as much because remember before we moved we used to stay like in the same area because we also used to school in the same area. So like we used to have these talks and calls and all that stuff. And then now we all got into what? We all got into high school, and we go your separate ways. You're going into high school, you're having new friends and the likes, yeah. So my best friend and I happened to go to the same high school. We're in different classes, but we happened to go to the same high school, yeah. So he also used to speak to my best friend because remember we were a group of friends. So I started ignoring him the whole time because I was like, I'm in school, I'm a smart girl, I'm gonna focus on my books, not on all this other nonsense, yeah. So I think when he got into high school, he started playing rugby. Oh, and those were the days of writing letters. So now there's this one time, okay, he kept on telling my best friend to come and tell me, to ask me like, why am I ignoring him? Why don't I go see them anymore? Why don't I hang out with them anymore? And all that stuff. And I was just like, whatever, whatever. So there's this day, I'm chilling in class. You know, we used to get mail, like when people go for funkies and all. They used to come back and they used to get mail. So funny enough, I got a mail. A smart girl getting mail. Why? And I don't go for funkies apart from maths contest and science contest and all that nonsense. So I got a mail and it was from him. Oh my god, and he had such a good handwriting. It was kind of... Anyway, so I got a letter from him, yeah? And he was just narrating to me about how his high school was, how rugby was, and all that stuff. So he was inviting me for an event that they were having. I think it was a rugby game, but then there would be like a little event after. You remember the days of Daylight Festival and Insomnia and Daylight Insomnia and Color Fest, yeah? Those were the days. So he wrote me a letter. And you guys, at the end of the letter, he wrote Dedix. You remember? Back then when you wrote a letter to someone, you'd be like dedication and then or a dedix, and then you'd like put like a little song that was trending back then, you know, and all that stuff. So for him he wrote a dedix. Oh, and the paper that he wrote on, it was the one that had a border of pink flowers. So I'm in class, I'm reading through. So my best friend, of course, she had to come and read it to me because she was like, oh, he wrote you a letter, he was inviting you for an event and all that stuff. Oh my god, I'm still blushing. Anyway, so the dedix was Yori Yori, this Nigerian song by Bracket. There was that, and then there was this song by Ilani called Cuckoo. I'm going cuckoo because I love you. Oh my god, you guys. I was melting there. I was like, oh my god, this person has remembered me, but he didn't respond to the mail. Anyway, fast forward again to the holidays. We happened to meet up, but now this one was on a different perspective. The whole time I had been ignoring him, and maybe this was like 2 terms later, like 2 semesters later, yeah. So during the holidays again, my best friend had a birthday party, and now we went to the birthday party. I didn't know I was gonna meet him there. My best friend didn't tell me he was gonna be there. So who am I? I'm coming for my best friend's birthday party. I'm gonna show up and show out. So I happened to show up at this at my best friend's party, yeah. But then my best friend also had a homie around the place, let's call her Babe. She had a homie called Babe, yeah? And then Babe had a brother called Boy. Let's call him Boy, yeah? So now, Avatar, the first boyfriend of some sorts, had started dating. Why am I putting it in quotes? Okay, had started dating Babe. Babe was a friend and a homie to my best friend. And my best friend was my best friend. So now this whole time, of course, we were gonna hang out, like all of us. So me coming to this place, he didn't expect to see me, and me didn't expect to see him. But then, now Babe is telling us, like, okay, Babe was seated with us the whole time. Now Babe is telling us of the way she has this guy who's amazing, who's tall, and treating her well, and all that stuff. Only to meet them and realize Babe's babe was my babe. My babe of some sort. Oh my god, it was chaotic. So I was just like, you know what, it's okay. Now I started dancing the whole time. I started talking to and hanging out and dancing with Babe's brother, yeah? So now this guy, apparently he got upset and then he left the party early. And then now when I got back home, when I'm settling into the evening, and then I get text, oh my god, how classic of you, from the supposed boyfriend. Oh my god, how classy of you to start flirting around with my girlfriend's brother. You guys, I got a lecture the whole time, and I was like, oh, okay, how classy of you to you know, and then it was just a back and forth, yeah, and it just never ended, yeah. But then fast forward, a few years later, I heard that they were not good. I was a little happy because I'm petty and toxic. I was a little bit happy, and I was like, you see, miachana. You thought you'd last forever, miachana. Anyway, that was so I don't know. Like every time I remember that first boyfriend of mine, it's just like so nostalgic and the times around it, and all that stuff. Now that I'm talking about it, I'm just like, oh, that was a cute one. That was a cute one. Do we talk today? We don't talk. We see each other on the interwebs. No, let me not say that. I don't know. He's just there. He's just there. Oh, and they apparently okay. There's a story too. There's a part two to this story because it kind of ended. Okay, let me not say a part two. Let me just put it here. First forward to a few years later, we just kept on talking, but just as friends and all. And it never ended well. Okay, it didn't end badly, but it wasn't well. And then at one point, I kind of met him. I once met him in the CBD in town just randomly, and I remember I was with my mom and I hid behind my mom. And then he came forward and then he's like, don't hide from me. Oh my god, and my mom remembers him. Anyway, that was such a beautiful love story. Typical teenage love story. I should write a book. I should write a book. Anyway, guys, that's it for my story time. I think I'm gonna have more story times because now talking about it, I'm just realizing, who was that? Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed. Kindly subscribe and the likes anyway, and let me know if you want more of these story times because my life is dramatic. My life is just pure drama, pure drama. That's what my life is. Anyway, have a good one and bye.